In today's video, we're going to be talking about some real-life events that could have impacts on Grand Theft Auto 6, like snowfall and a whole lot more. We'll be talking about all of that in this video today, so let's jump into it. So I want to begin with the crazy snowfall that's happening right now in Florida. Typically, when you think of Florida, you think of warm weather, you think of beaches, palm trees, tropical environments. Well, they're getting some serious record-breaking snow right now, and I'm not talking about just a little bit of snow falling on the ground. I'm talking about like a full-fledged snowstorm, and this kind of made me wonder if we were going to be getting snow in Grand Theft Auto 6. And I think the answer is probably going to be yes here. And I say yes for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think Rockstar is fully aware that fans are a big fan of the snow. They just enjoy it. It's usually associated with a fun time of the year, and it leads to some pretty cool stuff in game. At least it did with GTA 5 and Grand Theft Auto Online. And number two, Rockstar throws sort of weather realism out the door, especially when it comes to their GTA locations. I mean, if you think about it, GTA 5 is supposed to be set in Los Angeles and its surrounding areas. Well, Los Angeles hasn't seen snow in I don't know how many years, but it's a long time, and it rarely happens there. Just like Florida almost never gets snow. It's been multiple decades since they've had record snowfall like this. So even if we don't see quote-unquote snowy weather in single player, I do believe there's a chance we'll see it in whatever Rockstar's version of GTA Online 2.0 is going to be, or Grand Theft Auto 6 Online, whatever they decide to call it. I do think we are going to get some snowy weather, which will be pretty cool. But let me know what you think in those comments down below. Do you want to see snow in Vice City in the state of Leonida, or do you wish that Rockstar would stay true to more of the usual weather they get there, sort of the tropical sunny vibes? Let me know what you think in those comments down below. Now, speaking of things that have happened in 2025 that might have an impact on Grand Theft Auto 6, that is TikTok getting banned. I don't know how many of you guys have been following that story, that saga, or that use TikTok that have been impacted by this, but essentially TikTok was set to be banned in the United States until the very last minute when our new president, Donald Trump, ended up signing an executive order, essentially putting out a grace period which allowed the app to still function while a resolution comes about. This is what the app ultimately ended up saying. Sorry, TikTok isn't available right now. A law banning TikTok has been enacted in the United States. Unfortunately, that means you can't use TikTok for now. We are fortunate that President Trump has indicated he will work with us on a solution to reinstate TikTok once he takes office. Please stay tuned. Of course, that was a couple of days ago because now TikTok has actually been unbanned. They provided a statement saying that thanks to President Trump, that TikTok has been unbanned in the United States, and that could have actually had significant impacts on Grand Theft Auto 6 because we know how big of a role social media is seemingly going to play. I mean, just take a look at some of the clips from the first trailer that's put out. Essentially, half of that trailer is sort of TikTok-style clips captured from the lens of what I would assume is like NPCs watching the craziness of the world unfold. And that's just simply the world we live in right now. Everyone has a smartphone, and whenever something crazy happens, everyone just wants to jump out and film it as quickly as they can. And so I think that if TikTok was truly banned, it would kind of be weird that GTA 6 in this fictional world of Vice City in the state of Leonida, Miami, Florida, has in-game TikTok, but people that actually live in the United States and actually live in Florida, they wouldn't have access to TikTok. So again, it'll be interesting to see how this unfolds over the next couple of days and as the administration hopefully enacts a policy to keep TikTok alive. And that's a great segue into the next thing I want to talk about, and that's how Donald Trump, the 47th president of the United States, could actually have significant impacts on Rockstar Games and Grand Theft Auto 6. So whatever your political views are, some of the policies that Donald Trump has implemented are going to have direct impacts on Grand Theft Auto 6. The first is that gaming as a whole could become much more expensive. This is an article from Rockstar Intel saying Trump shared 25% tariffs will be imposed on Mexico and Canada starting as soon as February 1st, with China in Trump's direct crosshair. A significant portion of video game discs sold in the US are produced in Mexico, and with a tariff on imports from Mexico, the production of physical copies of popular games, including GTA 6 and future titles, could decrease. So video game companies outsource nearly all physical media manufacturing to countries like Mexico and China, And if Trump plans to impose tariffs on all foreign imports, the cost of physical media, game consoles, and PC components could rise significantly, up to 60% for China. And this could push the price of Grand Theft Auto 6 and similar games to $89.99, assuming companies pass the additional costs onto consumers, creating a higher barrier to entry for players. And remember, the other day, we were just talking about Grand Theft Auto 6 essentially having a $100 price tag. So that speculation might not be so unreasonable after all. In fact, video game analyst Matt Piscatella predicts a sharp downtick will occur in physical sales if this does happen, saying, all right, well, video games, with 25% tariffs on imports from Mexico on the way, I can see a sharp downtick in the number of disc-based games that get released physically in the US, as much of that production infrastructure is in Mexico. If they do get made, I expect higher prices, both physically and digital copies. So very, very interesting. I wonder if that will actually have an impact on the cost of our video games going forward. And last but not least, one thing that could happen in the future, and this is just speculation, is content restrictions on violent video games like Grand Theft Auto. During his previous administration, Trump ended up saying this: "We must stop the glorification of violence in our society. This includes the gruesome and grisly video games that are now commonplace." And for context, if you're wondering where and why Donald Trump ended up saying that, this occurred after the shooting in El Paso in 2019. So I don't know if his stance on gruesome and grisly video games has changed, that comment again being made roughly 5 years ago. So it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward in the future. And even though we didn't reference Grand Theft Auto in particular, GTA is often a focal point in these discussions, given the type of content we experience in the games themselves. Do I expect games like Grand Theft Auto 6 to be banned? No, I don't necessarily do, but it could be a topic of conversation in the future, just given what the current administration thinks on violence in video games. But anyways, those are some of the current events that have happened in 2025 over the last couple of weeks, from snow to TikTok getting banned to having a new president in the United States, and how those policies might impact our ability to play video games. Again, let me know what you think about everything we discussed in this video today in those comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go and enjoy this video though, a like rating would of course be awesome, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new. You want to stay up to date on all the GTA 6 videos that I'll be doing here on my channel, and be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.